My name is Steve Parrish. I'm actually from Amarillo, Texas. And tell you a little bit about myself. I've actually worked in fixed operations in the automotive industry for, my gosh, over 25 years. And my wife and I got into a health and wellness company about 5 years ago. And kind of watching what she did she had such great results. I thought I'd jump on board about 2 months after she did. And I ended up just getting hooked on it. And long story short is that she started making more money than I was working in the car business, working about 65 hours a week. And so I just kind of took a step back to see how good of legs this company had and what was going on. And it just got bigger and better, and got to go on some fun trips and things like that. We earned a lot of trips. And so I finally got out of the boat and walked on the water. And April of 2017, I retired from my job and started doing this full time. Now, that being said, I grew up poor. And so I had a really hard time finances. I always had kind of a hard time grasping it. Always had somebody in my business, always had somebody else taking care of that. And I tried to handle it. I was doing the best that I could with what I had at the time. And so then after I couldn't do it anymore, I decided I was going to step out, and I was going to I started hiring accountants and bookkeepers and things like that. And the funny thing is that their time is a little bit different than what my time is. And we always have a tendency that, what's taking them so long? What do they do? And then when you call them, they just kind of put you off. It was such a stress for me. And I really wasn't, I don't want that to sound silly, but I wasn't even able to enjoy our success as we were growing, because as we were growing, some people have money. There's a difference of having money but you really don't have any money if you're tax poor. I just had this fear that I never wanted to be in that situation. And so it's so silly because my wife and I go walking quite a bit, and we work out and do things. And my wife, out of all the things, she decided to listen to Eric Worre one day, and she had been listening to some different podcast or whatever. And then this real cool chick was a guest on his show. And it just kind of caught my attention. She had a cool accent, and, I thought, okay, so it kind of takes some little charisma or something to really catch my attention. And good Lord smiled on us, because I would have never dreamt in a million years that this 4-mile walk on a cool spring morning that was going to change my life. And I don't say that to be I don't want to over exaggerate, be melodramatic. It is so freaking true. Long story short, Courtney Epps, there's a lot of cool Courtneys in our lives for some reason. And her name, Courtney Epps, was his guest. And man, she was just telling it like it was, and just throwing out, when you know something, you have a passion about it, and man, it just digs in and goes. And she had that passion. And it was like, even Eric was going like, what are you talking about? You got to be kidding me. Are you serious? And he kept on going at me. And, I'm going to have to, he started saying, I'm going to have you look at some of my numbers. Man, there was just a connection. And so after we got finished walking, I took that podcast and I re-listened to it about 4 or 5 times. I thought, is this chick for real? This can't be, too good to be true. Went ahead and gave her a shout, gave her a call, and I got to talk to Courtney Epps. And she was just kind of telling me, we kind of, I think we did that 30-minute phone call. And she threw out some information that automatically was just making me feel, are you for real? Can I do that? And she told me, she made a statement to me so funny, because she says, I want you to do me a favor right now, because kind of where we were getting towards some deadlines. And that deadline's like, she didn't say like, hey, let's wait. She said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to call your accountant, call your bookkeeper, because I promise you they ain't even touched it yet. So instead of calling them, I went up there and told them I'm on my way to get my stuff. So I walked in, they didn't have anything ready. And she was exactly right. They hadn't even touched my stuff. Not saying everybody's that way, but she went in there, jumped in there, and I went and got my stuff. And sure enough, he hadn't touched it, hadn't done anything with it. And he said, why are you leaving? Why are you doing this? And so we kind of had it wasn't engaging, but we just said, he was just kind of shocked that I was leaving. But at the same time, it kind of made him feel stupid because here I showed up and he hadn't finished any of my stuff. And I just said, I just want to take it to somebody who's going to understands my business a little bit more. And then he started explaining everything he didn't understand about our business. So obviously I was with the wrong person. But at the same time, the good Lord smiled on me and bringing Courtney in her company into our lives. So I got all the information, sent to Miss C, and she got right on it. And it was crazy because when she started getting into it and delving into it, she was like, my God, Steve, did you do this? Did you do that? And did you pay for this? You paid for that? And I said, yeah, I mean, that's what I was told to do. The misinformation that I was getting, it was like, Courtney, I don't want that to sound corny, but she did the whole crew that she has. They are very interested in what you're doing. It's almost like you're the only person that they have, and they got a bunch of people they have to deal with. But when I call or whenever I deal with them, it's like they are interested in talking to me. And if they don't know the answer, they're going to find the answer. And I wasn't getting that anyplace else. And you can't measure that in dollars and cents for sure. And so anyway, I got all my information to her. Long story short, fast forward, she amended, she explained some things to me. And I ended up giving her the whole shebang. I gave her my bookkeeping. I gave her my accounting. And I tell you what, man, it almost makes me emotional because it was so stressful for me. And it's like the weight of the world is lifted off my shoulders. And the cost is not that much at all for what we do. So we end up amending some of my taxes over the last few years. And I'm expecting, I may be wrong, Courtney, you may have to correct me on this. It's anywhere from $38,000 to $42,000. When I said that and I shared that with my friends, they were going like, I don't know, people that are in our business. Well, my accountant does this, my accountant does that. And I said, well, you just need to give her 30 minutes and let her explain some of this stuff to you. It's almost like people are scared. People are scared to, they go, well, that's kind of a bit for 1 month, I was going like, you're giving that away to the IRS for the love of humanity. And she's got people around her that are on her team that she's not breaking any laws. She's doing the right thing and doing the good things. And it's IRS attorneys and so forth. She follows the rules. She's getting into the rules that accountants don't get into. So, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's incredible. But anybody that gives you the opportunity, just give you 30 minutes. Give Miss Courtney 30 minutes and let her answer some of your questions. And I'm telling you, this doesn't cost. It doesn't cost that much at all for what she's doing and what they're doing and what their team is doing. And even like right now, I'm trying to purchase a house and going through some stuff, and you can reach them and they give me the answers that I need. If I was me, I'd be going through stuff for 3 or 4 or 5 hours trying to figure it out. They've already got it figured out.
Thank you so much, Steve. And that's the thing, people, it is a peace of mind. It is, even me as a business owner, one of the things that I always put off, and I even know it's the most important, is the bookkeeping, because we're so focused on trying to make money. And if the money's going out the back door just as fast as coming in, what's the point?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. People don't get that.
No, they don't. And, that's the one thing. And I want to just thank you so much. Obviously with COVID, the IRS decided they were going to shut down on March 1st.
Yeah.
Office. They didn't open back up until August the 1st.
Yeah.
They did not even check the mail the entire time. They had no one. They literally evacuated the building. Didn't even check the mail for that's 6 months.
Yeah.
And now we're behind. So, but here's the great part. Like, on top of going backwards and finding money, I think we're around 20 or 30,000, if not more, every single year that you're no longer paying in taxes. Every single month, you're providing advanced immune support for medically fragile children and malnourished children. You're providing 400 servings of that every single month by paying us. And then on top of that, you're providing 3 people with fresh water for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate, what you're doing to help, not only for us to be able to help you and save you money, which is what we love, but on top of that, be able to give back along the way and teach others to do the exact same thing, because this really is a time right now where we have to be able to teach more people how to save more money so that they can have more and live more in their life. And then they can also give more back, because that provides true fulfillment. So I appreciate you so much.
too is I think a lot of people, I don't want, this is almost going to rhyme, I think, but a lot of people jump over a dollar to get a dime.
Yes.
They don't give you that time. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yes.
They're just cutting their nose off to spite their face. And
Exactly.
you know what's going on, and you know it, and that's your expertise. And man alive, give you a chance. Give you a chance.
I love it. Thank you so much, Steve. I hope you have an amazing day.
Okay, you too. God bless.